So the Skull Merchant got released to live in the mid-chapter patch last week, and the reason it's taken me a week to get to it is because many of my videos are planned days in advance, and so a lot of times, we're not able to fully get into something that just recently happened until either a few days to a week later. So I apologize that this has taken so long to come out, but I'm having it set to upload on the Monday, so hopefully, you know, that satiates everybody asking my opinion about the new Skull Merchant. But the new Skull Merchant comes out, and here is the train of events up to now when it comes to me and my opinions on Skull Merchant. Skull Merchant first releases 3 patches ago, or 3 chapters ago. She comes out. I'm extremely underwhelmed by her. I think she's fine. I just thought that she was relatively low in the C tier, and I just did not care about her. I get forced into a 2-month hiatus because of computer problems and financial problems and other stuff like that. I come back to the game to find out that some weirdo has deemed a playstyle called the Chess Merchant, in which he does nothing but jack off in the middle of a 3-gen setup with his drones everywhere and some really stupid add-ons and perks that basically just force him to bleed out everybody. And it took a pro team 57 minutes to beat him. The entire community starts bitching about it. I say that's a big problem, but it still does not make her more powerful than C tier. I released a tier list completely and utterly breaking down everybody from Trapper to Xenomorph, and in it, I put Skull Merchant in the low C. A fucking day after I released that tier list, Behavior announces they're going to do a release of the Skull Merchant, or a rework of the Skull Merchant in the upcoming mid-chapter patch. The PTB releases, I play her on the PTB, I say specifically that she is not stronger, not weaker, but she is at the same power level and her playstyle is just different. She went from a lockdown killer to a zoning killer where you want to put your drones at loops that forces survivors into the drone's radius. Reddit loses their absolute fucking mind at this PTB change, says that the Skull Merchant is gutted, she's no longer good, she's no longer powerful, she's no longer amazing. Oh my god, how could Behavior do this? They're stupid and incompetent and blah, 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 blah. The change from the PTB to the mid-chapter patch notes drops, and they make a lot of improvements to the Skull Merchant. Things like removing a lot of the clunkiness, giving you the ability to change the direction of the beams, which is unnecessary but cool. There was a lot of tinkering with numbers. And then she comes out live and everybody goes fucking radio silent. I don't see anybody reacting to her live version except for my friend Tatariu. I watched Tatariu's video and he seems to be having a lot of fun. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll try it on stream tomorrow. Cut to the day of me filming this. We played her on stream for around an hour and a half. I played 5 matches with her. 4 matches were with specific builds that I came up with. And then the 5th match was with a viewer requested build. So a commenter on my PTB, on my live patch note reaction, so the PTB to the live, not the PTB patch notes, but you get what I mean. The mid-chapter patch notes reaction, a commenter tells me that he thinks that with the changes they were going to introduce, that Skull Merchant was going to rise through the tiers. And I said, I don't think so. And he said, or they said that, well, it's undetectable on command is really strong. And I was like, that's like saying that Ghostface is really strong and Ghostface isn't really strong. And he said, you're right. We'll just have to wait for a live. I would like to apologize to that commenter. I forget your name, but you were correct because the new Skull Merchant is way higher than she was before. She used to be low C tier. She is now comfortably in a high B tier. That undetectable on command is so dumb. It is so goddamn insane how easily you can win chases when you can just make your red stain disappear. Mind gaming people becomes infinitely easier. The more I played her, the more I recognized exactly how powerful she is in chase. So I don't know if you guys were on Reddit, which I don't recommend it, but on Reddit, there was a lot of people being like, oh my God, you took away her chase potential. Her chase potential's here. In fact, I would be willing to call her a chase killer because of the fact that her drones, while neato, and the claw traps are neato, the undetectable on command is one of the strongest tools you can have in your arsenal. It's almost like an anti-loop. It's like a chase anti-loop. She's so goddamn powerful. Now, I unfortunately am still in the habit of placing drones next to generators, but I don't recommend that playstyle. I recommend you have 3 options. You can put on a stealth build, you can put on a chase build, or you can put on one of those stupid 4 slowdown builds. Don't ever do 4 slowdowns, but you can do it because her power by itself is so good at what she does that if you lean into her strengths, you're gonna find yourself like rolling people. It's actually insane how good this killer is now. And the claw traps are fantastic. Like the way the drones work now is so good. And the fact that you can put them so close together. So it used to be one of the big changes that came. It used to be when you would put the drones up, that radius, they couldn't overlap, but now they can. So now what you can do some really stupid cheeky shit is you can put a drone up at one entrance of Shack, put another one up at the other entrance of Shack. Shack becomes the most unsafe place in the game. What used to be the strongest tile in the game, now completely unsafe. Because the claw traps don't just break you. They don't just cause broken and injure. They also hinder you every time you get detected by a drone again. So every time you run through a drone's radius with the claw trap on, you're hindered. And a lot of it feels like playing against Clown. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? What actually are you gonna do? Fuck, you're made for this. It doesn't matter. I'm taking that 3% back, bitch. So the Skull Merchant just comes out completely on top now. I'm not gonna say she's A tier, but she's really, really close. Really close. Her undetectable on demand is so powerful now that one thing would have already boosted her in the B. But then she gets more with how strong the claw traps are. And keep in mind, lock-on doesn't decay anymore. So if you get 2 lock-on stacks in the beginning of the match, and then you survive till the end, and you're running to a gate and you get caught by a drone, that's your 3rd lock-on. You're now claw trapped. And now you're injured. And now you're fucking right there, ripe for the pickings for her. The thing that I want people to understand, because I know that this is probably going to come up. Some people are going to be like, oh my God, are you saying that Skull Merchant is too powerful and she needs a nerf? No, absolutely not. What I am saying is that do not underestimate her. Do not underestimate new Skull Merchant because she is so fun, so cool to play. I enjoyed every match with her. Even a match I had where I did a viewer request, it was kind of a bad build. It was just kind of funny. Even one of those matches, I had a lot of fun. There's a lot of the add-ons are really cool. One of the really good add-ons is a combination of the yellow ones. It's like strobe lights and low power or something like that. Basically, one of the add-ons makes your undetectable last 20% longer, and then the other one reduces the cooldown of your drones. So you can, as soon as the undetectable is about to end, your drone will just be off cooldown. So you just reset it and it's really funny. It's not that great, but it is really funny. And on smaller maps, it can really help you. Some builds I'd recommend is my Clown build is a really good one on her. So Save the Best for Last, Sloppy Butcher, Jolt, and Rapid are really good because every time she puts her drone up, she loses Bloodlust. But again, her chase power is so good, who gives a fuck? So this is another killer Rapid can be used on. Rapid, previously, if you watch my previous video on Rapid Brutality, you'll know that the only killer I really ever recommended it on was Clown, because every other killer has a perk that can go in that slot that's just infinitely better. But I would say that Skull Merchant is another one who can use Rapid. Another fun build is actually one that I did. It's not that great, but another fun build is actually one that I did where you put on Dark Devotion, Game of Foot, Corlophobia, and Unnerving Presence, and then you equip the Eerie add-on that gives deactivated drones your terror radius. And then you just go nuts. Your terror radius will keep bouncing around from the obsession to the drones and stuff, and it can actually cause a lot of problems. There's also a good add-on combo that I found. There's a brown add-on that reduces the skill check size by 20%, and then there's a yellow add-on that whenever a claw trap survivors don't get audio warning, kind of like a mini Huntress lullaby while they're claw trapped. So if you can like bring that add-on combo to a smaller map where you can basically force claw traps to keep happening to people, like mid bitch, for example, if you do mid bitch and then you place drones in the hallway, that'll probably work out pretty well. Yeah, overall, I think the Skull Merchant is just, she's genuinely fun to play. She's got a couple of versatile builds she can go with. I mentioned that you could do a stealth build. I didn't try it, but if I were to build one off the top of my head, I would say Monitor, Monitor, Tinkerers. What's some good ones? Monitor, Tinkerers. I'd probably do something like Pain Resonance just for some slowdown. And then I'd also probably do Floods, because then you can get aura reading on everybody. So yeah, I would do Monitor and Tinkerers, and then Pain Resonance and Flood, or you can replace the last two. So Monitors and Tinkerers is the main part of that build. But and then you combine that with the undetectable 20% more yellow add-on, like I said, and it's just, you get so much value out of that undetectable. Like that value that you get is so strong that I just think that people just really aren't prepared to know how to deal with her. And it's going to take a while for the community to figure it out, because she is really, really good. But yeah, so for everybody who's been asking me my opinions on Skull Merchant, that's my opinion. So that's all there is to that one. But let me know what you guys think down below. If you played against Skull Merchant, if you've played her, just kind of, let me know what's going on. But other than that, as always, I want to give a special thank you to my channel members, Alex Balix, Tabasco Raccoon, Ryan Gesture, Spirit Upgrades, and Nuclear Bomb for their additional support. If you want to know how to get thanked at the end of every video, make sure you click that join button down below, and also check out some of the other perks, like getting to know what video topics are going to be before they get released, and other stuff like that. And also, don't forget about our Halloween merch sale that's going on right now. I've got a special coupon code for 13% off if you buy any of the 3 hoodies on your screen. And if we get any of those hoodies to 10 sales, then they will become permanent fixtures in the shop. But otherwise, they go away on October 31st. So, yeah, that'll be about it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.